Alright guys, thought I'd do a video, but I'm playing Toy Racer for the Dreamcast, and yeah, I've had a few issues with the Dreamcast. It seems to always happen when you want to do a video. It's had the reset problem, which I only seem to get the reset problem if I don't use the Dreamcast for quite some time. And I haven't, so obviously I'll come back to play it loads now, and yeah, it's just playing up a bit. It pisses me off. It's not always the pins as well. Everyone seems to think it's always the pins, but it's not. Sometimes it's it's the actual the hatch that the disc goes into. Yeah, but there you go. So basically, on the whole PlayStation thing, it's really bad that this happened. I can't believe it personally. What the fuck? This game is just fucking weird. Sorry, I have to say that. I don't think much of it, to be honest. And why isn't there any other races on this track? But yeah, anyway, yeah. So this thing with Sony's been going on now for quite a while. Well, about 2 weeks, not loads, but 2 weeks, and there's been like a lot of speculation as to why some hackers or a hacker, whatever, has gone after Sony. Whether it's to do this guy that released the security pin or whatever it was, because Sony went after him, they've gone after Sony. Who knows? I mean, until like someone like the FBI or someone can say exactly who's done it, I don't think we're going to know, to be honest. And I mean, you can also speculate about the reasons why they've gone after Sony, which people have been doing. To be honest, you just don't know really. I mean, like I say, it could be over Sony going after this guy, or it may not. You just don't know, and I just think it's really bad for the gamers or the people who've got a PlayStation and use a lot of the features on the PlayStation network. I just think it's just a terrible situation, to be honest. I also think Sony, how can I put this? Like, being all these companies, all of them are targets. I mean, any big company that's got an online presence, they're a target for hackers basically, and nobody wants these places to get hacked or personal data stolen or things messed about with. Do you know what I mean? But you'd think that personal data, especially personal data, would be, even though it's stored on these systems, it would be absolutely sealed up, tighter than a fucking seal's arse. You'd think that even though it's on these systems, and you'd think it would be kind of invisible, and that they wouldn't be able to get to it, and blah blah blah. But the fact that they've actually managed to find some kind of loop, hole in Sony's defences to get to this personal data and download it is pretty fucking bad. I mean, I did hear that Sony had I'm pretty sure that I heard in the news report that Sony said that all the data was encrypted, so even if they download it, they probably won't be able to get at it. But the fact is, hacker still got into their system and managed to download the data. Whether they can use it or unencrypt it or get to it and do whatever with it, that remains to be seen. But the fact that they managed to fucking download 70 million plus people's personal data is, I think some of the blame, a tiny bit of blame, has to lie with Sony. The fact that this personal data wasn't secure enough for that not to happen, so that if someone did get into their system, which has happened, that they still couldn't get at that information. They couldn't download it or see that it's there or whatever. So some of that, you know, some responsibility has to lie with Sony that a hacker was able to do that, and I just don't think that's acceptable. That a hacker was able to do that, basically, whether the fucking information was encrypted or not. Also, you don't know what these people are going to do with this data. I mean, they could manage to unencrypt it. I mean, they managed to fucking hack into Sony's system and download 70 plus million people's personal information. So even if it is encrypted, I mean, they could still have the skills to fucking unencrypt it. Do you know what I mean? So, I mean, it's just a bad situation all around. And you don't know these hackers won't use this personal data. They could sell that data on to someone else. They could unencrypt it. They could wait a year till all this shit blows over, and then use that information for whatever reason. I mean, it's just a fucking really stupidly bad situation that shouldn't have happened, really. One thing I want to point out is this isn't the first time that I remember this kind of thing happening with Sony. Now, I'm not saying they've been hacked before. I can't remember personally, but this isn't the first time I've heard about people having their personal details nabbed or swiped from Sony's system. Over the last several years, I've heard about this in news reports several times, that people complaining that they've had their personal details basically stolen off PSN network and used. They've had their accounts compromised, whether that's down to Sony or whether that's down to people, you know, being susceptible to these phishing scams or whatever. Because I mean, even on Xbox Live, you get people sending you these fucking dodgy emails saying, "Oh, go to such and such a website and you can get Xbox Live points for free," which is just a big load of bollocks, because you can't. I mean, even on eBay, I've come across auctions where you can buy information to on how to get Xbox Live points for free. And I mean, I suppose anyone who fucking buys that stupid information probably, you know, they're gonna have their personal details swiped anyway, because you've been too gullible if you're gonna buy something like that off eBay. So there's all these scams out there, even for the Xbox. But I mean, yeah, I really do feel for people on the PlayStation Network. I mean, so like I said, this ain't the first time I've heard of this. People having their personal details swiped off PlayStation Network. It seems to me that the network isn't secure enough. If people can so easily tap into the network and swipe so much information off there, it's just ridiculous. And I personally think this is a reason why we're going to see the PSN network going to basically charging people to use it. I mean, I'm not saying it's going to happen immediately, but I'm pretty sure it's going to happen, especially in retrospect now, considering what's happened. I think it's a pretty big possibility. I mean, Sony for this I'm sure they're going to lose a fucking lot of money, because as well, the UK government is looking into this. The American government is looking into this, and you've also got the FBI looking into it. I think Sony, from what I've heard on one of these news reports as well, has been in breach of some kind of Information Act. As far as I know, they're not meant to. I'm a bit sketchy on the details, but as far as I know, they're not meant to keep certain information, or they're not meant to store it in a database. They're meant to destroy it or something like that, and they're meant to be in breach of something like that. So that's what I've heard anyway. I'm not sure of the details, but it's all a bit sketchy. But there's really strict guidelines on how you're meant to store people's personal information. So I think Sony are going to might find themselves in a bit of hot water because of that, not only in the States, but maybe in other countries as well. This could be a pretty big financial blow to Sony. I've always thought that the PSN network will eventually start charging the users anyway, and to me this just seems like a catalyst for that to happen even more. I think it's even more likely now. So yeah, maybe within the next couple of years or so, maybe when they roll out the next system, they'll start charging people. It ain't going to be free forever, and I think this breach just proves that they need to charge for it. Because I mean, if you're paying people, you can. If you've got a free network, I mean, if you're getting people, paying people to the network, and to go on PSN rather, you could potentially use that money to buy people with better skills to make their system more secure. And of course that won't be coming out of Sony's own pocket. So I mean, that's what I think about it. That's just me kind of freestyling my thoughts on the whole situation.